a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Talk. Well, today I have a guest in my Zoom room. You know, I always like it when somebody could come here if possible. This is Manfred Preuss. Preuss. We met a long time ago at Optimist Club.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
that's not what he's here to talk about. So he has something very special and interesting to talk about. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. I've been dragon boating for about 24 years now, and we're looking at getting more people interested in dragon boating. And the reason is like everybody thinks that it's a women's only sport, and it actually isn't. It's a mixed men's and women's division. I'm wearing the shirt that I wore in 2018 when we went to Hungary, and I was with the senior C team, which is the minimum age was 60. I was a rookie, and we had people that were 70, and honestly, I couldn't out paddle them. They're amazing people. We went to Hungary. We won 2 silvers and a gold. We competed against teams all over the world. It was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, in Europe, it's a 50-50 mix. There's 50% men's teams, and they call them open teams. And that is because you're allowed to have women on men's teams if you don't have enough men. And you have women's teams, of course, that's women. And then you have mixed teams. And a perfect mixed team is 10 guys, 10 girls. And what we noticed here in the last few years, Nat, is that because Chilliwack has so many sports, like you've got hockey, baseball, soccer, mountain climbing, biking, everything like that, is people kind of forgot about this. Some people call it a bit of a fringe sport. Well, I've been in it for 24 years, so I would say no, it's not a fringe sport, but to some it is. So what we're looking for is, like, I started when I was 42. My kids were in high school and that, and I wanted to get back at something. I used to play baseball, but I threw a shoulder out, and I can't throw a ball. And it just, when you get used to any sport at a higher level, you really have trouble going back if you can't do it at that level. And my wife started with the Water Warriors. They were the first team in 1999, I believe. And they started a club up at Harrison. So the next year they wanted to expand it. So we started the team, a mixed team in that. And at that point, we had 10 guys, 10 girls, and we did very, very well. Moving farther forward, that team became Sudden Impact Black. They've been all over the place, done really well. And as time went on, it just got harder and harder to get people. And then, of course, in 2018 or 19, we had COVID, and then everything stopped. So we're on the rebuilding stage, and I've got to be quite honest, the women's teams are doing great, but we have 2 women's teams and 2 mixed teams that are in dire need of paddlers. And I shouldn't say dire. We would love to see new paddlers, would be probably better. We've got 1 paddle, which is the equivalent of a competitive women's team, and when we get enough guys, it's a competitive men's team. We've got they call this Lake Blue, which is a recreational mixed team. Great people. It's one that I'm going to be paddling with this year. And we've got the Flyers, which I had the opportunity and pleasure of steering and coaching last year. And they're no slouches. They do very, very well. So this year, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see if we can get enough interest to start a men's team. It would be... we wouldn't be able to go to too many events this year, but there is talk about having a men's one-day event next year. So this year would be to build the sport, get it going, and then all the men on the team in that could actually go on the other 2 mixed teams when they go to events. And our events are everywhere from right here in Harrison, Penticton, Kelowna, Vancouver. Kamloops has a one-day event. So you get a chance to go, and it's a lot of camaraderie. It's the old school where, basically, you get together with your teammates type things, you have fun, you giggle, you laugh, you chuckle. I just can't say enough good things about it. So this is what we're looking to do. The club and that, I knew I was going to do something like this. And when I told them, I said, well, we're kind of going to need a day for a men's team, just one day.
Yeah.
And, we figured out if we can get enough people, what day is best for everybody. There are teams that practice Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Teams that practice Monday, Wednesday. So we'll have to fit in there somewhere, which I'm sure we can, as well as in this club over here, the Cultus Lake Club, which is called Sudden Impact Paddling Club. If you want to look that up under Facebook, it'll come up. Also, they have their own website. Nancy will give that out. We also have, I'm just going to look here just for a second, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It is Cultus Lake Dragonflyers. That's a women's team, great team. And the mixed team, the other mixed team, rec one, is called Cultus Blue Dragon Boat Team. And again, it's on Facebook. And then again, the Sudden Impact Paddling Club, which will get you to Paddle One, which is the competitive ladies teams and mixed team. They also this year have an outrigger team, which is a Hawaiian outrigger. They've been doing very well. I consider them crazy. They paddle 12 months out of the year. I need my off time. I just need a little bit of time to go in, like snow skiing and hot tubbing and, all the stuff like that. Dragon boat knows no age. So if you're old enough to hold a paddle, away you go. 21 and above. And again, I'm 66 going on 67. And our steers person for 2018, he just turned 92. He's still steering.
Never too old to do anything.
No, never too old. There are different levels of competition. If you go to an event, you can win in your category. We'll come up against some 19, 20-year-olds, which we don't stand a chance. But that's in a preliminary. In the final, it all goes on time. So if you're a 201 team, you're going to race against 201s, 2s, something like that. If you're a 235 team, you're going to be in that area. So everyone has the opportunity to win. And it's just a lot of fun.
So I have to ask that, what is dragon racing or dragon boat? What is a dragon boat?
A dragon boat is a Chinese boat. It's 48 feet long. Mm-hmm. It holds 20 paddlers, a steers person, and a caller person up front. The person up front, you'd like to have them be small, and you'd like to have them have a loud voice because, of course, they're not paddling, so it's a bad thing, but they're dead weight. The steers person in the back is the same thing. I steer, but I'm way too heavy to steer, but I steer. So if you had a smaller person in the back could steer. And the people like front and back like that would be ideal if, let's say you had something you couldn't paddle. Well, here's a way to be on a team. And those two positions are just as important, if not more, than paddlers.
Yeah.
You have 20 paddlers. You paddle one side, you paddle the other.
You got a paddle here?
Yeah, I got a paddle over here. And so I'll just show you over here. We recommend, this is called a paddle saddle. And you're going to sit on that. If you don't, you get two little bites on your bum, which is not much fun. The paddle, this is a carbon fiber paddle. It's $285. The club has paddles and life jackets. They're made out of wood and that. So it doesn't cost you anything. Basically, come out 3 times for free per team. So we got 4 teams, maybe 5. So you could get 20 practices in for free. This is maybe 205 grams. It's quite light in that.
Can I try that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wow. It is very light.
Yeah, very light. And it's kind of, how would you say it? A respectful sport. If you're into dragon boating, you have a blade cover so that you don't damage the blade. And this is something that I was always taught to look after your equipment. Mm-hmm. And so this paddle is what I call a club paddle. It was our Crusaders team from a long time ago. It's beat up. We got this donated from Lorca in 2009, wow. And it's still alive. It's still going. So that's what it is. Positioning on your hands, 3 fingers, make your hand go here. What'll happen is this. So what I usually do is put a piece of tape over here. You have a C, you put it over top. A lot of times people do this, not right. This like this. This is wrong too. So just like that. So that's
all the little details, all of this. Yeah. So where do you get funding for your?
You don't.
So how do you keep your support? Like, things need, I don't know, boats usually need resealing or different things.
Yeah. When you join the club, and Cultus Lake is the least expensive club in the valley, you pay a club fee.
Oh, okay.
And the club fee is $175
for the year.
For the year, yeah. And basically that looks after boat maintenance, insurance, paddle use, all the equipment type use, and that. So that does it there. Now, at Cultus, I got to warn people, this is, they do have paid parking, and we're at the marina, just at the end of Sunnyside there. So what we've done is we've decided that, well, we have, four of us will meet in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah.
And we'll jump in one person's car.
Yeah.
They have a deal where it's $50 if you join the club, and you get a little parking pass. So you can park there with that pass all year for $50. And it's from now all the way till the end of September.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks after that. That's probably the only disadvantage I could think of, is the pay parking. So other than that, come on and give it a try. If you've done sports at a higher level and you don't want to do them, or you can't do them anymore, and you want to try something new, this is definitely for you. And the beauty of having an all men's team to start with is we have no competition. We're the start, and of course, do you want to know what racing's like? Well, that's what the mixed teams are for. And
I was just thinking about, even like if you have arthritis, you can't necessarily do the paddling, but the person in front, like they're the ones that are encouraging the rowing, right?
That's right. It's paddling now.
Yeah, paddling. Yeah. Sorry, the paddling. So think about, if you want to do that, you're a small person, you got a nice loud voice,
Yep.
Right? And you get the advantage of being part of that group, part of that team.
Yeah.
Right? So you become like a family.
Yeah, it is a family, and it's a beautiful sport. Afterwards, you'll talk to other teams, the whole thing like that, and you might get one person that's snotty out of 500.
Right.
That's
those are the rules. You have to have one.
Yeah.
But just think about how much fun you would have. You got all of the advantages of dragon boating without the physical, because you might have issues with your arms or whatever, like
that's right,
or your hands, whatever. So you still get all the enjoyment of it. The same thing at the back, right?
Well,
steering it
in the back of the steering there, I've steered for many years. Is you got to have a little bit of strength,
right?
But it's you hold your hand like this, and you can just twist the paddle like this to make it turn. And under heavy turns, then you push and you pull.
Right. But it's not the same as
no,
like back and forth.
No, it's much easier. And basically, in a race, you're going in a straight line, so your job is just to make that boat go straight. And there's only two people on that boat in a race that can see what's going on, and that's the steers person and the caller. So the coach, Vince Klein, and I are going to co-coach the men's team. We can get one going. Vince already coaches the blue team, the Cultus Lake blue team, does a great job. Loves to coach novice paddlers, very good at it. He's been on Team Canada and all over the place and that. So the man knows his stuff. I've been around as well too. So what we did is we tried to advance it as fast as we can for you, so people don't get bored. And honestly, the race is 2 minutes long to 2.5 minutes long, and you won't get bored. And
if you like being on the water, that's another thing too, right? A lot of people like being on the water, but they don't have an opportunity because they don't have a boat or, whatever. They're not, they're living in an apartment, you're not going to be tugging a boat behind you or a canoe or anything, but this is a wonderful way to have that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So many advantages.
It has a ton of advantages, no real disadvantages. I always tell the girls, they giggle when I say this, is the only disadvantage of dragon boating is that this is going to kind of go away, and you're going to get a little bicep curl, and your abs might suck in. Short of that, it's all good. And just like you did, they all giggle and laugh, because I think we can all use that, especially me.
Yeah, that would be fun not to have those wings there hanging.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see any disadvantages, and I was just thinking about the cost. Which is, like you said, is very, very inexpensive to do.
For it's 5 months out of the year?
Yeah, because if you're going skiing in the winter, everything costs.
Yeah.
No matter, we can't avoid it. Every single thing costs, right? But if this is a low cost, something that you would think you would enjoy, I'm going to make sure that the information is there. You can contact Manfred or go on the website, right?
Yep.
Manfred's on Facebook, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right, so there you go. So there's different ways you can do it. So just get involved. The weather's already starting to get nice.
Yep.
When do you start? What's your season?
Well, believe it or not, we're starting tomorrow. That's March 16th of the Impact Blue Team app. So we'll be down at, you meet at 8 o'clock at the marina. At 8:30, we're on the water. Practice is only an hour long.
Oh, that's nice too.
Yeah, so it's not very long. And of course, since we realize that Your brain might remember if you paddled last year, how good you were last year, but your body's forgotten. So it's actually a building, like we're not going to, okay, let's go and do the whole race. No, we're going to build it, give you a little bit of time. And both Vince and I are pretty good at looking at people's faces. Like if they're turning blue and you can't breathe anymore, it's probably a good idea to take a break. So, stuff like that. So as you can tell, we're a bit of a joking and have a fun team.
I like that. Yeah. So as you mentioned, by the time you see this, they will already have started the practice, but that's not going to stop anybody.
Come on out.
Yeah, exactly. They're not saying, hey, you have to be there at the very beginning.
No, right? Come out whenever you can.
Yeah.
And like I say, take a look in that, look at our website and that, and she'll post it again there. It lists all the teams. They won't list the men's team yet because we're still forming it. I call it a men's team, and I guess politically correct, it's an open team. And that's just...
You guys get off and get out there.
Yeah, come on out.
It is.
We won't regret it. It is a fun sport. Worst day on water is still better than the best day at work, I always tell people, and that's really true.
Could somebody go, like without signing up to do it, can somebody go to just one time and see what it's like?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you come out to practice, they get you to sign a waiver so you're covered under insurance. And then you go out, and you can go out with each team, like your lady. So you could go out with each team 3 times. So you could go out 12 times total if you wanted. So if you try it once, you go, that's not bad, but maybe I'll try this team. So we want you to fit in the group that you're in.
Very good.
And everybody is competitive, and no matter what they say, maybe you don't want to admit it, but you are. I always tell people, like, if you're dragon boating, if you are playing baseball and the bases are loaded and you're the winning run and you hit a home run, your team won, but you won it for the team.
Yeah.
In dragon boating, every seat is important. You all hit that home run. And the adrenaline rush and the feeling is amazing.
I was just thinking about that. The energy, that unified energy.
Yep.
Must feel awesome.
Yeah. It's all about synchronicity and cadence. And cadence is the speed that you paddle. One of the smartest coaches I ever had, he says, if you want to go slower, paddle faster. And I went, what? And he says, if you want to go faster, paddle slower with power. And I'm like,
Yeah.
So it's not how fast you paddle, it's how much water you pull. And again, Vince and I have had super good coaches, and Rita, she's on the Paddle One team, and her and a couple of the people there are actually going to the World Club Championship in Italy this year. And she gets coached from the Canadian national coach in Victoria. So when we started, we didn't have a whole lot of coaches. Well, that end of the paddle goes in the water, pull. So from there, we have really advanced a lot. And we're willing to share. You're going to find out that everybody's willing to share the information. One word of advice, listen to your coach, no one else.
There you go. And on that note, thank you very much,
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
You're welcome, for sure. And everybody, I just want to thank you for watching the show. Take care. I hope you continue to watch, because that's always great for me. And if you want to be on the show, just feel free and contact me. Until then, everyone, peace out. Look at me. I struggle to turn it off all the time. There.
A sense of community, till the wax a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.